And here we are for a a Dragon's Maze, Return of Ravnica, Gatecrash draft with myself, Bro9, and MillFace.
Hi, I'm MillFace. um, just to make people aware, I have no idea about this one. I've done the other two, fine and dandy. Haven't even touched this Dragon Maze pitch.
I've done quite a few Dragon Maze drafts, so I'm quite happy to know what I want to do. So there's the Battle Shaper. I could bring out the card window, so Mr. Miller can see what's going on. So this one pretty much owns combat, but it does cost 7. So he comes down late, but he's pretty disgusting when he comes down.
Staple.
There's also the Sphinx and the Flux Charger.
I've seen Sphinx before. Sphinx is nice.
But I think we're going to go with the Battle Shaper because even though it costs a lot, this format's a lot slower. And if you do get him down, they just can never attack and never attack you. Okay, so looking at the second picks here, we're hopefully looking at red-white. There's more of the Obsidat Boris Mastiff, which I think is probably the pick if you want to keep with the Battle Shaper. There's Putrefy. And a lot of other stuff. Yeah. I think it's between these two. If we want to diversify and go with Putrefy, we can. But if we pass it, hopefully they'll stay away from our colours. Signalling isn't that great in this format, but I think we're going to stick with the first pick here. Okay, so going for the third, there's a Riot Piker, which I'm not awfully enthused about. The card is just okay. What do you think, Paul? What do you think the pick is here?
The rest of it just doesn't really come into play. It's the Feral Animist doesn't look very nice. You've got the Cruel Warrior, like him, seeing him do some damage, but I just don't know.
Yeah, this guy does do work. I think
if you want to stick Boros, I mean,
yeah, we're gonna Riot Piker to see if we can just stick with 2 colours. Well, I could just.
Oh well.
There's a few cards. I think we're just taking the War Chant. We could go Gruul, cut the Mastiff, and still play the Battle Shaper as a splash, or with 3 colours, just go Naya. Depending what we do, but there's nothing else for red or white here. We're not playing this Mace Sentinel, so we'll play the War Chant.
You don't want to go Rakdos?
Not at this point. I think there's anything strong enough to bring in, which is tearing us that way. A bit upsetting these Orzhov Guild gets going around. We're nowhere near that.
That's the first time I've seen Clearer Path as well.
Oh, this card's really good. You'd be surprised. And the cool thing is, that's the art for the Basilica guards from Return to Ravnica. The dead guards there. From Gatecrash even.
They've got a Swift Strike in red.
Oh, it's Weapon Surge. Yeah, it's First Strike.
Oh, you can overload it as well.
Yeah. So you can give all your guys that.
Oh, you're fancy.
You're fancy. I think we're just taking the Gatekeepers. He's a fine guy where he is. Oh. See, a lot of people don't like this card, but I am one of them who do. But saying that, I think our pick being red-white is just going to be the first blade.
Yeah.
This guy just, he beats down real hard.
I miss those lizard people.
And they miss your motorbike rallies, apparently.
Yeah. There's beastie bikes in Cambridge. Yeah.
So looking at this, unfortunately, I don't think we can take the Bronzeback Mower because we've got the green for the Gruul War Chant already. I don't think Blaze Commander is very good at all. This guy with lots of little guys coming, if you can get a Gatekeeper going with this guy in play, it's going to get +6/+6. So I'm just going to take the Mower and hopefully we'll get some fixing. So we'll look at another Mastiff or another First Blade. I'm just going to take another First Blade. That Sphinx tabled. That makes me so sad.
You go for a high end?
Well,
you've got the 2 green sort of options, but it's
I think we're probably just taking the gate and let this Sphinx go. We've got the War Chant and the Mower, and it's cutting those for 1 Sphinx. They kind of do the same thing in this deck, so I'd rather have the fixing.
another. That's the one that steals creatures.
Yeah, this is the Threatened Gatekeeper. So you just takes one of their guys. He's okay. There's the Armored Wolf Riders. I think it's a bit underrated. And 4/6 is just huge.
It's just reverse worm, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I think we're just going to take that. I don't know, Tandara is mid around. Liev Decree. And this could do work in our deck if with Gruul War Chant. I mean, this just cuts them off. But I think we can get that in pack 3 with the Torius Arresters, because it'll do the same thing. But I don't want Tandaris. Not really. I would just take Decree. So next pack, we'll be looking at sort of Gruul cards, if we can get the splash going, and then definitely some Boris cards. We're hoping to go all out Boris. Since we've cut the left to lots of red, so hopefully that shouldn't be too much of a problem. So what would be your dream open in pack 2?
Pack 2, blimey! This is coming from not playing for 2 months. What's my favourite card that I can never pronounce or pronounce so very well in previous times?
I just don't know what you're talking about.
2 mana enchantment. Not good in this deck at all.
What,
1 and 1 white.
What, Madcap Skills?
No,
Blind Obedience.
Yes, Blind Obedience. Yeah.
We'll take this for the sideboard.
It's one of those times where you finally sort of see a word that you've been saying for years, but you've never seen how it's spelled. And so you go into a magic sort of realm, and I was just like, Blind Obedience? And it's like, what are you talking about, Paul? I've got blind do you mean obedience? Yeah. You feel a bit stupid.
There was a woman at the place I work, and our photocopier had run out of toner, and she said, this is depelted. What does depelted mean? So, Annie, that's depleted. Okay, so sad enough, there's an Arms Beast here. After all those Oracles of Guild Gates, this would be nice in our deck. But there's also a Fire Fist Striker. Arm Beast is strong, and we have literally no removal for it, so it's pretty good against us, apart from the Battle Shaper. I'm still taking the Fire Fist Striker. There's Arrows of Justice, but I think we want to be that aggressive deck. On that note, there's a Sky Knight Legionnaire and a Syndicatize. So, and a Bomber Crew. What would be your pick here, Paul, before I tell you exactly what the right pick is?
Yeah. I mean, at the moment, I'd probably go for the Sky Knight. It's got evasion, it's got haste, it's pushing down the line that I think I would like. Syndic's good, but you're not going to be sparing any mana in order to extort things you want to push through.
Extort is mighty good, but I think we just want the Legionnaire. And now we're blessed with the Warmind Infantry. So we'll take him too. And we're getting towards that aggressive deck that I wanted to be. Hopefully, if we get some fixing, we can probably cut the Mower and the Armoured Rider and just leave us with Splash for Gruul War Chant.
Yeah.
Really good in Boros. So what sort of commons and uncommons are you looking to come round?
More of the infantry, really. I mean, I know they're quite a high pick, but also you've what's the other one? The 3/2 for 1 and a red. Ah, there we go. We can go for another Legion or
there's a Rubble Hulk here. So we have Rubble Hulk, which is it's an XX number of lands you control, and you can Blood Rush it, and that gets XX number of lands you control. There's a Daring Skyjack, a Legionnaire. This pack is stacked.
And an Ember Beast.
We're probably going to get something back, but I think we're just taking the Rubble Hulk, just the Blood Rush.
Yeah.
So this pack is a little bit miserable for us.
We're stopping on the aggression here.
There's massive raid, because we're going to have some creatures at the beginning. We don't really want to play this Riot Piker, but we can. We're going to be too aggressive in my estimation, to play the Smite. There's Gargoyle, but our high end is much higher than that. I think we're just taking the Massive Raid as a piece of removal. Oh ho ho ho! Now this card, that's something I can get behind. I think this is almost as good as Unflinching Courage. It can really seal off games, especially with the Warmind Infantry and the Armoured Wolf Rider. And to some extent the Rubble Hulk. It just... well, it's unblockable.
There was the other one which steals creatures. Why would you take it over that?
That was Mark for Death.
Yeah.
It makes sure that only one of their guys can block. But this card, you just put it on your best guy, and after they've been taking a beating from your Boros Masters and your Viper Strikers and your First Blades, it can really close out the game just as they put their stabilising play down. So I think this pick is clearly Assault Griffin.
Yeah.
And then I guess we're taking the Smite at this point.
Not the glaring spotlight.
No. We could probably do without the glaring spotlight. It's a pretty sweet sideboard card if somebody's got a whole heap of removal, or there's somebody who could just stall out the game and just put up loads of blockers. But I think Smite's a bit stronger.
At this point, would you not sort of go for something like the Sprite in order to stop aggression on their side?
And we could have cut the Sprite, but I mean, if there's something like the Arms Beast, this is nice to side into to be able to kill it. So we have Armoured Transport, which is really good with the Battalion guys, because it just keeps on attacking. Or another Assault Griffin. I think we probably just want the Griffin. And the Mark for Death came around. So we can play that. We might put in the sideboard, but it's not something we're looking to do. I would take a Thunder Fist. Jaff. Yeah, all these last picks, just no one cares about. So we can cut the Rider and keep the Thunder Fist, and cut this Mark for Death. We're not looking too bad after pack 2, but we've really lost our guild, because our guild was mainly Boros splashing. We didn't see any Gruul cards, so
no.
We could, if we open like Vitu-Gatsi Guild Mage or something stupid in Celestia, we can certainly go down that route and hopefully get a guild gate or two.
I'm just trying to remember. What was the guilds from the original Ravnica? So the first 5 in the first.
Azurius, Rakdos, Golgari, Celestia, and Izzet.
There we go.
So we've got the Giant Growth, Traitorous Instinct, the Brush Strider, which is, I don't want to play green this early. I want to keep it on this end as a splash. And that's about it for this pack. I don't want to pick up Frostburn Weird. I think we can just safely go with the Traitorous Instinct. It can really close out games in Boros. It's a bit early to pick it, but there's nothing else here I really want.
And it can also pull sort of that battalion if we need it.
Exactly that. So there's Knightly Valor here, Concordia Pegasus, and that's about it for us. I mean, there's a Vassal Soul too. We're getting to be a more mid-rangey with the amount of drops we have. We could just go for another Flyer, or we could go for the big Knightly Valor play. And there's nothing special to put it on, but I think this card is strong enough just to pick. What do you think, Paul?
I mean, we have sufficient evasion, and it's going to be bringing out additional guys for the battalion. I stick it in the hands of Tom, my expert colleague.
I'm going to go with the Knightly Valor. I think this is strong enough. Oh! So we get past a Mythic Uncommon, 3rd or 4th pick, which is just so strange that I guess no one to the other side is Celestia at all. So hopefully we can see a bit more Celestia coming through. Another Knightly Valor. It's a Fencing Ace, which I don't think we can do much with, apart from
single enchantment.
There's Holy Mantle and Knightly Valor, and to some extent the Gruul War Chant. We could play this card. It is basically a 2/2 for 2 in one colour. I think we're just going to go with the Fencing Ace here.
Would you go for the captain here?
The problem with the only problem with the captain is his mana cost. It's a bit prohibitive. I mean, Vassal Soul essentially costs the same in our deck.
Yeah,
We have,
but you have one
choose
more
Judgment.
turn in order to do it.
I mean, we could choose Dynacharge and just go really aggressive.
Just the captain just is so solid, and our core one is white.
I think we'll probably get Dynacharge later. We'll take the captain and see what our mana looks like at the end. Another Knightly Valor. As a Palisade Giant, this guy's a pain in the ass, but it's more of a control-y card. It's not something we really want to do. We'll just take another Knightly Valor. I'm a bit upset at the state of our fixing just being one Boros Guildgate.
Sunspire Griffin?
Yeah, we're taking the Griffin. We're saying that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 enchantments. We could quite happily play Ethereal Armor.
It's true, yeah, and one of them's a global enchantment as well.
From what age are you playing Magic here?
Sorry.
We could just take the guy. We've got 17 creatures, including the Mower. I think I'm just going to take the Griffin.
Nobody will take the Ethereal. So here, Zurius Arrestor.
I did have some fun in a draft previously where I was sort of a Grixis control deck, and I had 2 Maze Abominations and ended up with 2 Staticasters. So essentially, they were tap, destroy target creature. That was a bit much. And I think here we're gonna go with the Sundering Growth just for the sideboard. Some of the guys made it round. We can go for the Vassal Soul. Although the Sunspire Griffin is just better in our deck.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
We'll cut this Drainpipe Vermin because he blocks.
The hilarious thing about the Drainpipe Vermin, I went to a pre-release, Ravnica and City of Guilds, and some guy had it die, and he decided he was going to pump 5 black mana into it, and he was like, discard your hand. I was like, it doesn't work like that, I'm afraid to say.
Oh dear. That's
He's just like, no, I can pay 1 for you to discard a card. I was like, yeah, just once. It's not a recurring thing. He's like, oh man.
Oh, a Psychic Spiral.
Don't have the ability to do Psychic Spiral deck anymore.
Well, I think there is a deck. There is one, and I tried to draft it, but you have to. I'm trying to hope that Psychic Spiral is in the last pack. In the first pack, you can pick those Drown and Filth, the green and black. You put the 4 cards from your library into your graveyard, and then target creature gets -1/-1 for each land card in your graveyard. And you pick that. You pick the Rock Farm Skeletons, and pack 2, you try to get some walls and some Durdly guys. And then pack 3, you get your Chronic Floodings, and you flood your own lands, and you're trying to get a Treasured Find and a Psychic Spiral, so you can spiral them out. It does exist, but
it does exist.
It does exist.
Like you're talking about a mythical creature. It does exist.
I'm telling you, it exists. So we'll put the cards we're not sure about over here, and then the other ones we're sure about we'll put in. I think that Guild Mage with the Bronzebeak Mower is pretty strong.
Pretty strong.
So I don't think we're going to play the Riot Piker. Even at this point, I'm not sure about the Massive Raid because of the double colour in it.
Not sure it's raid.
We have the Guildgate for it, but the double colour does hurt a lot.
We don't have any more kill gates for the white gatekeeper though.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're not going to be playing that guy this time because we just can't take advantage of it. None of the other gates in our colours came around. So we're at 20 cards. We've got another 3 we can put in. We have the choices of Lee of Decree, which is fair in an aggressive deck, not great. We'll definitely put that Traitorous Instinct in. There's the Riot Piker. We have no particular way to pump him. We have no Martial Glories, or when you have one one Blood Rush guy. So if they play a 2-3, there's not much we can do about it. He's just gonna run
And with
instantly and die.
Oculus and everything else in the set.
Yeah, there's lots of Void Wielder and Oculus and Croconura. There's lots of things which just ruin our guy. I suppose we can put the Vassal Soul in. We're only splashing green for these cards here.
4 cards, and one of them with abilities.
Looking for the last card. I think it's a choice between Massive Raid and Towering Thunderfist, only because I think this format's a bit slower, so we can probably play 5-drop creatures without any particular problem. He does have Vigilance, but over another 2 toughness, but he is single colour too. But our removal suite currently consists of nothing but a Traitorous Instinct and this Battle Shaper. I think I'm going to have to go with the Massive Raid. We've got 17, which is unfortunate. But...
just in case anything gets in the way.
So I think we're going to do it like this and take away planes and add a Guild Gate. So we've got 4 forests for 1, 2, 3, 4 green cards. We have 6 red sources for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, a lot, but this one's double red. I think this is fine because anytime we play any of these
you're
cards,
not going to want to play Massive Raid early, so you're not too worried about that.
Exactly, and I think anytime you play the Guild Mage or the War Chant or the Rubble Hulk, it doesn't matter if it's early in the game or late. I think that you can get away playing them. So we're going to run this out, and hopefully you guys watching do agree. I'm not sure if Paul agrees.
I have no idea. This is the brilliant thing about it.
This is why we have other people commenting with us. So I'm going to go ahead and submit this, and we'll see you for round 1.
Bye.